And I think we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our today's webinar. Please let me know if you can see and hear me clearly. Okay, I had some technical difficulties, but it should be working well. Just to let the Way Video support know, working now. Thank you for the patience. Okay, just to let them know we are in. Okay, so you don't hear the pop up from the support, the chat support. Anyways, welcome to our today's webinar. If you're joining me today for the first time, usually on Wednesdays, I try to stir the conversation about anything related to independent teaching, online independent teaching, to be more specific. And this week, we're going to talk about Wordwall as an amazing and simple to use tool to gamify your classes and self-paced courses easily. Please let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay. Oh, Katie says, Ivy, you sent the wrong link in the email reminder. Okay, it went to yesterday's live. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that was the thing. Yes. Okay, I can only I can only repeat that, but yeah, thank you. It's okay. I'm just gonna send a replay later. Okay, thank you for tuning in, Katie, and reading with Katie as well. Read with teacher Katie. Hi, nice to have you today. Hi, Angie. Wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful day already. And let me know in the comments if you have used the word wall before, and if not word wall, let me know about the tool you use to gamify your classroom or your students' learning experience. And in the meantime, if you're watching the replay and you're not familiar with me, let me just introduce myself briefly. My name is Ivy. Sorry. I'm an independent teacher, online independent teacher, teaching ESL since 2021. And I'm actually a special educator turned independent online ESL teacher. I'm also founder of Super Teacher, a very useful all-in-one web app for independent teaching that takes care of all the admin work you would need to do, maybe manually or by using tons of apps altogether. And in my independent teaching journey, I use Wordwall. I find it super interactive, and I also love curriculum that has Wordwall games embedded, such as Abridge Academy, which is my number one curriculum choice. And today we're going to talk and explore how we as independent teachers can leverage a web-based app such as Wordwall to up our teaching game and to even monetize using it. So let's see why. Today we're going to talk about what gamification is and why it's important. And we will have a short kind of intro to Wordwall. If you're not familiar, if you are familiar with it, it might feel very basic today, but stick around if you do want to learn how to boost your earnings using Wordwall. Then we will explore the Wordwall templates, activities, and resources. Wordwall has over 20 templates available, around 33 templates in total. And that means you can create tons of activities, anything you can imagine, basically. Yeah, we will explore that in a bit more detail. Then we're going to talk about how to use Wordwall as an assessment tool to create kind of little assessments, maybe after a unit or after each lesson, the way you normally would do or would want to do. We're going to talk about Wordwall and the way to use it pre-class for maybe vocabulary previews or lesson previews during the class or the course. Maybe if you're building a self-paced course, this is going to be interesting. And after class, as mentioned before, as an assessment or assignment or just a quiz comprehension check or something like that. we're going to share, and feel free to share if you are a Wordwall user, your top tips for making your Wordwall activities more engaging. And the most important thing I wanted us to talk about is how to boost your earnings with Wordwall. Let me just check for comments. Uh, okay, let's see. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted with the wrong email and everything, but thank you for bearing with me. We still have 7 or 8 teacher friends tuned in, so that's awesome. I think I shared the right link in the. So I shared both, I think. So I'm pretty much sure. I've used the free version, not so much. Oh, good to know. So not much actually. Thank you, Katie. Sorry, everyone. I just got super distracted with the failure I made to announce the event, but it's okay. Anyways, let's get to work here. Straight to the point. So let's see. So why gamification at all? If you're a teacher just using PDFs, or if you are someone who is used to be teaching in brick and mortar schools and new to online teaching, you should know it's all about interaction. And the way to go about it, one of the easiest ways, is to use either pre-made games available for teaching online on different subjects and topics, where you can just search for them randomly, or to create your own, right? And in this regard, if you do include interactive activities during the lesson, that's going to lead to increased motivation, most definitely, no matter how old the student is. Adults get motivated as well, right? If they keep the score or get points or have some kind of incentives you come up with, it can work for any age actually, and any subject. So that's the first thing that's really good about gamification. It's universal. It can be applied to multiple teaching. Student audiences, no matter your niche. Secondly, it enhanced the result of implementing gamification in your teaching is enhanced engagement. You can as well use it to gather, for example, student feedback to follow their progress on certain curriculum or activities, and just to be for them to be more immersed into learning, and not just following or repeating after you, but to have some kind of independent learning practice before or after class. The other thing that's really good about it is you get immediate feedback, especially if you do use um, those elements during the class, like a game or an activity where they have to do something to demonstrate the knowledge they're gaining from classes, right? So you can get immediate feedback, or you can get um, feedback if you assign the activity to the student for later practice, which is the case with Wordwall. You can track their progress. Then there is collaborative learning. If you're teaching group classes, you could also create, for example, a ladder board and have students compete against each other. Keep it fun, keep it motivating, and just also collaborative. That also means, like, after every activity on Wordwall specifically, they can actually see the results. So there is the learning, the personalized learning process in it. They can see easily where they made mistakes and where they should review more or just put a little bit more effort. And of course, improved learning outcomes. It's kind of logical, right, to have. Uh, Especially if you're teaching children, we know play is a natural way for kids to learn, right? But even adults, like I have friends who still play games, I mean, video games, and it's always fun. Maybe it's not just for education, but it's always fun, at least. If you're looking, to just kind of bring fun element into your teaching, that's also okay. It doesn't have to be fully educational all the time, but it is a tool that can definitely improve your teaching and your students' learning experience. Um, Katie says, I love Wordwall, have the pro version. Yeah, me too. Uh, awesome, Katie. Maybe feel free to share like your favorite templates, for example, or the ones you would recommend using. Angie says, I use ABC. Ooh, ABC is also cool. Wordwall and Bamboozle. Cool. I know ABC. ABC is a bit different. Yeah, maybe we should explore it in one of the next webinars if there is interest. Katie says Wordwall games are also like quizzes, not just for kids. Right. And yes, most definitely. Yeah, we're going to talk about it today even more. And so let's go straight to it. I will share their website. Enough about me talking. And yeah, kind of, I just wanted to point out like why we should even think about using a tool like that, and how it can improve both our students' experience and our own teaching, right? Okay, so let me see if you can see the Wordwall website. It's wordwall.net. Yeah, I think you can see the screen just to check. Okay, perfect. Oh, Katie also says, I use Wordwall gap fill activities. Awesome. Matching games, sentence and jumble, tasks, quizzes, so many options, right? I've never used all of them. I still am yet to use them all. I did test a few new templates today while preparing. Katie also says, I also love that you can easily convert activities into other formats. That's especially convenient. Like, I personally have a student who only loves to do quizzes. So I'm very cautious and careful when creating an activity. I just make sure it can convert, because not all the templates can convert into one another. So yeah, if you do find that out, like a student preferring just one kind of activity, then just make sure it can convert easily, or you can meet their need and have them enjoy the process even more. So what is Wordwall? It's the easy way to create your own teaching resources. And by that, it means Wordwall is all about templates. So you get a structure as a final result after you put in some kind of resources. Um, And as Katie mentioned before, you can create quizzes, match-up activities, word games, and much more. The process of creating activities is super easy. Like, you can literally create something in 2 minutes just by inputting some text, audio, or images. So the way it works is you pick a template, enter the content of your choice, and then you can either turn it into an interactive online game or print it out. So these activities, most of them are also printable, which is really cool if you want your students to have some off-screen time but still practice. And it's still, engaging. It's still a game, an interactive activity. You can just download it as a PDF and have them play, and even take a screenshot and share with you. So some of the maybe most popular templates are the quiz one. This is a series of multiple choice questions where you would mark one question as correct and the others would be random responses. And also, it's really good because every time you refresh the activity, it puts the words in a different way. It's not never the same. So the student actually has to read, and to kind of pick the right choice. there is There are flashcards, which are really good for vocabulary review or vocabulary introduction. Whenever they have to revisit a concept or you want to, review something with them, it looks really well. Then there is a fill in the blanks activity, template, where you would just put a sentence and then point out the word you want the word choices, or they can, so they can actually drag and drop the word in the fill in the blank template. There is also a matching pairs. I love this one because I do teach young learners, like mostly 4 to 9. And so something that's more visual is the matching pairs. Nevertheless, you can also add a text, a word or an audio. But I love doing like the vocabulary review using the matching pairs. So they have to remember the word and repeat many times until they find a perfect match, right? There is even a hangman word search. And one of my students' most favorite one is the game show quiz because they get rewards. So maybe I can just show you how it works, not just talk about it. Let me see the quiz I prepared just to find it. So it's really exciting. There is music, sound effects, all the bells and whistles a quiz should have. Okay, let's share this one. I'm gonna just mute it so it doesn't get too loud for you, just so you can see. So you look how sparkly and beautiful it is. So it's always exciting. It's never like the same or boring. And for you as a creator, it's just to add the sentence, and the pictures or audios. So here we have a simple sentence. So the student would have to read, it's a book, and then pick the right answer. They even get help. It's kind of millionaire. It looks like how to become a millionaire. It has these help buttons. And after a few answers, they get to play a bonus game to earn more points. So you see, they get a time bonus if they're super focused, working well. And that's how it goes. So you just basically on the back end, it's super simple. Just get a simple fillable list. And you're told what to do. Like everything is super easy to do. If you stick around, we can actually create your first activities afterwards. But basically, just have blank spaces to fill in, either if it's a word or an image. Another great thing about Wordwall is Wordwall has its own resource library full of images, and it's AI supported. So that means you can also create audios within Wordwall. You don't have to record them yourself. You can just enter the text, pick a language, even, pick the accent, like if you want to, if it's an English activity, if the speaker is male or female, if you want them to, oh, I didn't see that. This is the bonus round. Okay. We'll see how we'll do. Anyways, it's too much fun. Like sometimes when I create activities, okay, let's guess together. Did anybody follow? Where do you think the highest bonus is? It should be like 200 points. Oh my goodness, help. I don't want to miss. Let me see. Feel free to type in the comments before the time is up. Let me see. If not, I'm going to go with 4. Okay, that's not too bad. They can even lose points. But still, yeah, it keeps them motivated. And once they finish the game, like this one, actually every activity, there is a leaderboard. So if they're really good, or if you are the one creating the activities for them, you're not using other teachers' activities, then you can share it with your students only. So in that way, it can also be competitive because they can see where they are at on the list. Let's just try to speed it up to show you. Okay, I'm not gonna even read, or maybe open a shorter one just to show you the leaderboard and in the end, maybe. And let me check if somebody had a better guess. We'll see in the end. Okay. Oh, one new comment. Yeah. Thank you, Katie. Katie says you can also set Wordwall activities as. Sorry, I couldn't read. Something is going on with Wave today. You can also set Wordwall activities as assignments to track your specific students' answers. That means you can, and that's how you would actually share the activity with them. You can just assign this to my student, enter their email, and yeah, they will get the activity or share the link with them. Katie also says, great for homework or group classes. Most definitely. Imagine having a group of students who are following the same curriculum, like Cambridge Academy, maybe, and then they have to do this assignment after class, and everybody has access to the leaderboard to see where they're at, right? So that's super competitive. And based on their results, you can even introduce your own reward system and incentives and whatnot. Okay, I'm just gonna stop sharing the quiz and check uh, where we are at with just a second. Yeah, so I wouldn't go into every single template because there is a lot. And we can do that later on in the workshop. I would just keep it short and focused on what Wordwall is and what its key features are. So we mentioned activity templates. The other thing that's really good about it is customization. So you can customize the content of each activity to suit the lesson plan you're following or specific needs of your students. So that means you can just basically copy the game you make and then tweak it and share it with a specific student. It's all personalized. Yeah, we mentioned all of them. Like sharing and collaboration is also good. You can even share them with teachers if you want. And that's the part of like how you can actually maybe become a Wordwall creator and offer either your services or your activities. Why not? And offer them on subscription basis, or you can even build activities for someone as a side gig. Why not? um, and also you can offer, you can, if you, no matter if you're new to Wordwall or not, you can just the good thing is you can also create folders within the dashboard. Maybe I should show you the dashboard a little bit. Okay, my activities, let me just share that tab. Okay, so here you can, let me just check if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Okay. So here's some random activities I created and a folder. So you can create a new folder for a student, let's say Elsa. Just Elsa. Okay. And then you can create activities within the folder, right? And it's very simple. So you just click create activity, pick a template. Let's say we want to create a quiz. And here is how easy peasy it is. Straight away, I'm taken to this part. Activity title, let's say toys uh, review. Question number 1, is it a doll? Maybe we're learning asking and answering. Yes, it is. And this would be the right answer. So I would just click the cross to take it. Yes, I do. Yes, she is. I'm just putting something randomly. Okay, so maybe this is, so you get the idea. You can type in the answers, or if you want to be even more creative, you can add an audio by clicking the audio button. Let's say I want this AI to be female, British, and say, yes, she is. Click generate. There are some limitations, of course. Okay, of comparing the plans. Like Wordwall has 3 plans. The free plan has a limit of 4 activities you can create. But what's cool is on all of the plans, you do have the access to assign activities. So maybe to begin with, if you are looking into incorporating Wordwall into your maybe self-paced course, maybe 4 activities are going to be just enough if you're making a mini course, and you can assign the activities. There is no limitation on that. Then they have a standard plan, which is limited compared to the pro plan in the number of templates you get access to. On the standard plan, you have access to 18 templates, and with the pro plan, you get like 15 more templates. But usually, everything in the standard plan included is good enough. But you can just stick to the free plan, of course, to begin with. Okay, so here is how to create a text response, how to mark the right one, how to create an audio, just a glimpse into it. And if you want to add a picture, you don't have to look any further. You can just type for a robot, maybe. Oh, no, it should be a doll. No, a robot, yes. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, and let's see how it looks. So the second I clicked create or save the activity, this is the end result. So on the front end, so to say, the student will get a little quiz where they have to pick the right answer along with the music, sounds, effects. You can even change the background and but yeah, these are the basics. Is it a doll? Oh, what did I do here? Audio. Yes. Okay. Um, yes, it is. And now you will see I think the leaderboard as well. Yeah. Game complete, confetti, even a little reward. Here is the leaderboard. And if they do well, they can even type their name. And the moment they complete the activity, you will get the results. And plus them, I mean, they can also see, you see, this is really good for the parents to see in the end how the kid did if your students are children, or as a self-assessment, self-check for adult students. Let's see. Let me check the comments. Yeah, okay, we're good for now. We're back on check. Um, let me see. Let's go back to their page and see what other things you have to have in mind before deciding to maybe. Okay, so they have a community which is accessible to paying users, where you actually, that means you can just go to this link, wordwall.net/community, and or just click the community link and search for public activities. That means your activities can be private if you are on a paid plan later on, or public if you just want to share and use other teachers' resources. And let's say I needed something for toys. I'm just going to type in toys. Oh, here is one, just what I needed. Is it a kite? Yes, it is. And I wanted to show you this. So on the side of the activity, on some of them, you can switch the template. For example, this one is not fun enough. I want it to change it to a game show quiz. So now we get remember the quiz we checked before. Or here is another fun template, open the box. And then they get a surprise question or a picture. It's also good for discussion. Is it a plane? Yes, it is. So you see, I only entered like a few words. I mean, literally like 2 sentences, a question, an audio, which I didn't even make, and a picture, right? Which I didn't look for. I mean, I just searched for a toy. It was simple as that. And how much time it took? It was really, really fast, right? There's even a maze chase, spin the wheel. Maybe maze is not, yeah, it's not that popular. Spin the wheel is great to prompt a conversation, especially. So they can be just maybe questions with no answers, and like this, if the student spins it. Okay, you get the picture. Is it a computer game? So it's still fun. They have to use a dice, and it works really well. Students also love it. And that means you can create your own content in every template. Maybe check the speaking cards. They're also super cool. I think it's obvious what they do. So it's really good as a warm-up activity. I would recommend it, or as a review at the end of class. Like today we learned this toy. Is it a doll? And they should have answer in full sentence in the example we are following today, and plus answer what toy is it, right? And yeah. Now, depending on the classroom you're using, I wanted to mention the difference of different platforms available for teaching online when using interactive activities or even web-based curriculum such as Abridge Academy. It's all interactive like this. Plus, it has the Wordwall games. Depending on the platform you're using, the level of interactivity for your student will be different. So, like I am just sharing the screen now. That's the case with the most of the platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, WebEx, Wove, basically all except Koala Go. Maybe a few more do have some kind of a co-browsing solution, but yeah. In these platforms, students cannot click unless they are using, for example, on Zoom, they have to be using a desktop or a PC actually, um, or a laptop. I'm not sure. Yeah, I just got confused. But anyways, you can share a mouse, which is not the same, like a remote control, to give them remote control, and then they could interact with the game. But for in-class use, Wordwall is perfect if you do use a classroom such as Go, which does have full interactivity. So that means both you and your student can play the game at the same time. It's not just you using it as an assessment tool or a quiz maker for after class or pre-class or tracking their progress, but to have fun during the class itself. So I think that's important to maybe mention. Katie says, I also like to get students to make their own verbal activities cool as homework, which we can do as a group the next class. I love that. Katie also says, with Wordwall, you can send students the link so they can play on their own devices. Yeah, most definitely. And it's mobile friendly. My students usually play on iPads. They can enter the full screen. It's something they're used to, even though it feels like an app, like an actual native app. I mean, Android or iOS, but it's a web-based app. Okay, so maybe top recommendations when it comes to templates. We mentioned some of them, like the quiz one, where you can create multiple choice questions with text, images, and video. You can also create true or false questions, and this is also good. I plan on using these true and false questions for debate lessons. So I would just prompt them. I would make a statement, and then my options would be true or I agree, and false I disagree. And then I would stay on this single page for for some time for them to speak and argue against or for what they mentioned. Yeah, when it comes to the matching pairs game, you can use all kinds of resources to match. For example, you can match text with text, images with text, or images with images. So, for example, if you have a student who is a non-reader, you can have them match. I just wanted to share some tips for like a real class situation and how you can personalize it. So if you have a non-reader, a very young learner, you can match. You can have them match audio with the picture, right? Or if they need to associate the beginning sound, then you would put a word and a picture, or maybe a word and audio, even better, right? Phonics activities are really good with matching the sound and then the text, the word beneath, cat, and then you would have uh, written maybe cat, mat, bed, set, and you would have them match that way. I love that. You can also create word search. I normally use those just for like a brain break. And they also can be a good way to check their spelling, to see if they can actually spell the word so they can find it in the word search, right? You can create and design crosswords, and basically the templates are always simple, as I just showed you one. Like the flow is absolutely the same. Fill in the blanks are amazing. You can do so much grammar check with them and check their comprehension. The random wheel one, the spinner, is great for as a speaking prompt. I love using it that way. Uh, I mean, when I create an activity specifically as a spinner, but as you saw, we can turn all activities, almost all of them. We can just switch the template, right? Even. But if you want to create a spin the wheel activity intentionally, then you might think about wanting to use it for, prompting conversation in class. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, so how you can use Wordwall to earn more teaching independently. I think that's important to touch upon. Just to check the comments, Katie says, I usually just pull up the Wordwall QR code. Oh, yes, one of the sharing options, of course, which students can scan with their phone. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for that tip, Katie, because I usually use it within my super teacher profile. That's how, or I just share the link depending on the classroom, maybe sometimes using Classroom. But that's a great tip. So maybe let's just see how we can share it, what options they have for sharing the content. So here, first, you can just copy the link to share, or we can embed it. This is the usual sign for embed option, and it means you can embed your own content in your own website. If you are registered with Super Teacher, that's the button you would want to look for. So when I click on it, it would just give me a default iframe. I wouldn't change anything here. Let's see. Okay, maybe. Oh, okay, share. No, don't touch anything. Just keep it as it is. Is my recommendation, just to keep it basic this time. Copy, paste it in a Word document so you can later use it and add it in your course builder or a resource library if you're building one or want to offer one to your students. And as Katie mentioned before, we can also create a QR code. Let me go back. Here we go. And here it is, the last option. So here it says we have these options: share on Facebook, X, Google Classroom, email, and create a QR code. And here it is. And this is super important for Chinese students. I mean, they are very used to using apps and I mean QR code for everything, no links. So thank you, Katie, for the amazing tip. That's super important. Let's see if we have any more comments. Okay, so let me show you how you can use Wordwall. So the first option would be, as we did before, just copy the embed link and go to your super teacher profile. And so on super teacher, because you can offer so many different kinds of class offers, you might as well want to think about how you can sell your Wordwall activities, right? So there are a few ways to go about it. The one would be sell them as a standalone subscription-based membership. So that means you can create a library, an ongoing library that's going to build up over time. Begin with however many resources you have, or you should create a number of resources and then go live. Just let everybody know, I mean, your students know that your library, your resource library is going to be built up and going to be growing over time. So they know that they're just going to get more than they do once they sign up. Then you can include Wordwall activities as part of your self-paced courses. And that means you can use the templates such as quiz or an assessment, create an assessment or fill in the blanks, anything that's related to your lesson. And the way to do that is just follow the lesson you're using. For example, if you're using Abridge Academy and we mentioned toys, and there is an activity about, what toys do you want? I want, or maybe what do you want? I want 3 dolls. For your students, you can create an activity that's going to be a fill in the blank, maybe. If they need more support learning numbers, maybe, Or if the grammar is the thing, sight reading, maybe the word want is key in that specific activity. So depending on the learning goal of your lesson is how you should pick which template to use and in which way, like which words you need to focus on and how to design the activity so it makes sense and it supports your student. I know Katie and I talked about that briefly before the event, and yeah, maybe we should talk about that in a special, maybe whole event. Like, how do you actually, if you are not experienced in creating learning activities, you might still struggle. But with Wordwall, the good thing is you can access the community, or you can just search online, type in toys Wordwall, and see what it will come up with, and to get inspired. But again, because you want to use Wordwall to enrich your classroom, and in your classroom, you're the one who knows what curriculum you're using, where your student is at, what they're struggling with. So you should be able to recognize that and then use Wordwall as a tool to empower and, boost the students' confidence and knowledge and retention and everything. Hope this makes sense. Uh, Katie says, I've made a spinner activity for my self-paced course and changed the visual to the summer or spring picnic. Looks really cool. Cool. I just didn't want to go into much detail during the webinar, trying to stay focused. Yeah, but basically there you can even change the background and adjust it maybe to your student and their preferences. Okay, thank you so much. Super helpful. Um, okay. Okay, and then you could even create. I mentioned that. Okay, the way I am using it at the moment is to raise my prices a little bit. So I'm not asking my parents to subscribe to my resource library at the moment, but I say, um, because I'm going to be including this research library, you don't have to pay for it, but the classes are going to go up for $1 or two because you will get lots of resources. So there are many options depending on your clients and what your goal is with this. But I just wanted to create a perspective on, not just being Wordwall, not just being fun for you, but it can actually allow you to earn using it while having fun, and upping your teaching game at the same time. It can be super useful, right? Okay, I think that's the basics I planned for us today. I hope you feel like it was useful. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, we can take a little break, and then if anybody wants to explore how to create activities specifically, you can join me here just to share the link. Just let me know if you can see it in the comments. Okay, and I didn't mention the pricing. So what's interesting about Wordwall, it depends on your country. So you would want to go to their website yourself. Let me just copy the link and check out their pricing page because it's different across the world. It's not showing up. Let me try again. Katie says, love these great insights. Thanks. I loved your insights, Katie. Thank you so much. I know I was a bit distracted with the tech today and everything, but yeah, that's what we got to do, right? I hope to see you later on. Okay, everyone, let's stop here. Thank you for joining me, and feel free to comment if you're watching the replay on anything regarding Wordwall, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for having me today. Bye for now. See you next